Hi everyone! Kamusta kayong lahat? Kamusta na ang ating mga modules? Kamusta na ang ating mga subject sa ibang mga instructors? And I hope na you are still doing good. And I hope then na you're strong enough to continue your studies even if we have this kind of situation na we cannot be able to have face-to-face learning sa ating mga eskwelahan. Pero I know that you are still have that kind of faith na tuloy pa rin. Okay? So, walang makakapigil sa ating mga pangarap. Okay? So, bago tayo magsimula sa ating mga lessons and discussions with our subject entitled Society and Public Service, I know lahat tayo is hindi familiar sa isa't isa. Pero magkagayon man, I will introduce myself to you in order for you to have background also with your subject instructor. So, first of all, I'm a graduate of Bachelor in Public Administration sa ating kolehiyo, the College of Management. Pero noon is a College of Arts in Management pa lang ang COM. So, it means I am a product of public administration. So, I finished my master's degree in public administration sa St. Louis College. And bago ako napunta sa teaching, I became a public servant sa provincial government of La Union or the provincial capital. So, particularly in Sangguniang, Panlalawigan. Doon ako nagsimula. And I pursue my public service, another public service sa regional hospital naman. Particularly sa ITRMC. For about 2.5 years. Then I decided to pursue my career in the teaching here in DIMSO with the influence of our beloved chairperson, Dr. Pahimola. In that case, I am here with you to discuss about this subject, Society and Public Service, or we have the course code PASC 102. Okay? So, question. When was the last time you have studied sociology? Kailan yung huling oras o kaya pagkakataon na pinag-aralan ninyo ang about sociology? I think pinag-aralan yan mga junior high, tama ba? Mga high school kayo. Sa senior high, meron bang ganyan? I am not aware. So, the question is, what could be the relationship of public service to sociology? Ano kayang mga difference or relationship ng bawat isa, yung public service and the sociology? So later on, as we discuss, you will understand how public service works in sociology. Alright? Okay. Let's move on to the first lesson. So ang pag-usapan natin ngayon is for lesson 1 hanggang 4. Kapag kakayanin ng oras natin, tatapusin natin hanggang 4. Medyo umaabot commonly mga 2 hours. Diba? So, I hope na matatapos natin to. Kung hindi, we will have our part 2. Okay? So, palitin lang muna natin tong mukha ko dito. Okay, sige. Ayan. Okay na. Let's go. So, for lesson 1, we will be doing an introduction to sociology, particularly the nature and scope of sociology. So, what is sociology? Sociology is the scientific study of human society and social behavior. It says there, sabi niya dito, the scientific study of human society and social behavior. So it means we are studying about a process, a system within the society where the behavior of each individual are being evaluated, assessed, or even monitored. So another is, it focuses on all kinds of social interactions. So meaning, ano man ang mga ginagawa mo ngayon, it's all about sociology. Ano man ang pinagkakaabalan mo ngayon, it's all about sociology. So, sa kahit anong larangan meron ng bansa, except for physical sciences, sociology is there. In other terms, it encompasses a broad scope of social interactions within the society. Mapa-government man yan, sa economics, or sa politics, what else? Organizations, structures, and processes. So, nandyan ang sociology. So, almost every aspect of human life pumapasok ang sociology. But then again, why should we study sociology? Sa tingin nyo, bakit pinag-aaralan ang society? Bakit pinag-aaralan ang social behavior? Diba? Number one is that to obtain factual information about our society. So, para mai-describe ng mga sociologists ang ating society, kailangan na merong pag-aaral, di ba? About sa behavior ng mismong community, kung ano yung mga activities na meron sila. So, to obtain factual information, hindi lang pwede yung galing lang sa opinion mo, ay baka kasi ganito, puro baka, hindi pwede yun. So, we need to study the human society, yung mismong interactions within the community or a certain nation. Okay? Para maging reality siya and then magkaroon ng data about it. And then, kapag yung data na yon, syempre gagamitin niya ng government to provide policies and programs including projects and activities for the public. So, meron silang basis. Okay? So, another thing is to learn the application of scientific information to our daily life and problem. So, to learn the application. So, merong methods and techniques on how we are going to solve certain issues in the society with sociology. Okay? Another thing is to understand our society and letting us to see our place. So, sabi niya, to understand kung ano yung meron sa society. So, for example, sa inyong community, sa barangay ninyo, paano mo masasabi kung nasaan ka banda, kung ano yung, what I mean is that, anong klase, anong social class ka meron, saang parte ka nabibilang, nasa lower, nasa middle, or nasa upper class of people ka ba? So, because of that, kapag nalaman yan ng government, they will come up with a programs and projects para sa mga lower level para magkaroon sila ng benefits to the funds being provided or being available in the government. So, parang ganun. And then, to understand our society, letting us, kapag alam mo kasi kung nasaan ka banda, you will strive more, di ba? You will going to be more eager to develop your economic status. Okay? So, ganun ang sociology. Next, the nature and characteristics of sociology. First, it is an independent science. Masyado ba akong mali dito? Di ata nyo ako nakikita. Okay, sige. Pwede na yan. Sige. Okay, so, balik tayo. It is an independent science. When you say independent science, it has its own branches of knowledge. Meaning, meron siyang sariling linya ng pinag-aaralan. So, kung titignan mo dito, dali, kunin ko yung pen ko, independent. So, hindi siya nakadepende sa ibang mga social sciences. Kung wala yung isa, the other cannot exist. Hindi ganon. It can exist even wala yung ibang mga other social sciences. Another thing is, in other words, it can stand alone. However, ito, take note. With the help of other social sciences, the study can be improved. So, still, even though independent ang sociology, independent ang science na ito, ang social science na ito, there is still a need pa rin to further improve the study. Okay, so later on, pag-usapan natin yung mga other social sciences na pwede nating i-relate when it comes to sociology. So second, it is a social science, not a physical science. Social science kasi is more on social activities, interactions, social life, and what else? Relationships. Diba? Hindi siya katulad ng other sciences like physics, chemistry, and astronomy na ang pinag-aaralan is more on physical scientific matters. In that case, ang sociology is a social science, not a physical science. Okay? Ang normative discipline naman, ito, sabi niya, it is a categorical, not a normative discipline. Ang normative discipline kasi is a branch of learning kung saan meron mga standards or mga standard rules of conduct para i-test or i-evaluate ang isang subject matter. Say for example, ethics and what else? Logic and politics. So, they are normative discipline. But in sociology, hindi siya ganito. But rather, it is categorical discipline, which means a body of knowledge about human society and not a system of ideas and values. So, pinag-aaralan or dinidescribe niya kung ano yung meron sa society, pero hindi siya nagbibigay ng parang, oh, ito yung solusyon. Parang ganun. So, ang normative discipline kasi, they are going to give you such solutions and based from factual information about the society. And the study about the society is based from sociology. Gets? Okay, sige. Pure science, not an applied science. Pure science is about acquisition of knowledge, meaning you are gathering data and information coming from different perspectives. Kapag yung knowledge or information na nag-gather mo na, you apply or you are applying it, or in other words, you use it or utilize it. Then, it became applied science. So, in other words, ang tawag nila dito is action research or action when it comes to research or action research or applied research. So, for example again is ang sociologists will gather facts about drugs, crimes, populations, what else? Or any other issues in the society. When the policymakers or legislators found these studies from the sociologists, either they will use it or ignore it. If they use it, this will be the basis for the formulation of public policies or regulations, including programs, projects, and activities for the public. When they use it, it became an applied science. Understand? Okay. So, it is generalizing, not a particular. Generalizing, not a particular. Bakit? Bakit kaya? Yung scope kasi ng sociology is very broad. Kaya tinawag siyang mother of all sciences. So, it does focuses on a single study or area of study. Kaya isa yun yung sa mga nature niya na generalizing. Pag sinabi mong particular, you are being specific on something. Mas malaki ang sakop niya, particular, pag particular yung pinag-usapan. Unlike general, mas malawak. Okay? So, general or particular. Magkaiba yun. So, ano pa? Both rational and empirical science. So, Pag sinabi mong rational kasi, general science, ayan, so rational and empirical science. Rational science and empirical science are two approaches in scientific study. Pag pinag-uusapan ang rational science, it sounds like rational thinking, di ba? Papasok dyan ang logic and theories, also with reasoning. Ang empirical naman is about collection of facts, hindi yung fox na lobo, facts. Fuck, parang ganun. Fox na yun. Iba yung parang narinig ko dun Basta, ang empirical naman is about collection of facts. Ano yung actual na nangyayari, ano yung mismong issue or problem literally experience or happen, kung ano mismo yung nangyari or yung na-experience ng researcher o kaya yung sociologist. So, kung ang rational is on theories and ang empirical science is on facts, remember that theories without facts are just a matter of opinion. So, similarly, facts without theories are blind and directionless. So, bakit? Siyempre, ang mga theories kasi gives a clear understanding about the facts and it will explain paano nangyari yon. Bakit nangyari ang isang bagay, and it will definitely explain it. Alright? So, next tayo. We have here the scope of sociology, social organization. Pag sinabi mong social organization, it talks about groups and individuals. It is how people in the community interrelate, cooperate, and provide mutual support to each other. So, pag sinabi mo namang social psychology, individual and larger social structures. Ito naman yung paraan kung saan yung thoughts, yung feelings and behaviors ng mga tao sa isang community are influenced by the presence of others, like groups. Say for example, mas naipapakita mo yung totoong personality or behavior mo kapag ang kasama mo is your close friends rather than your coworkers. Tama ba? So, for example, nasa trabaho ka, ang mga kasama mo, mga professional. Kaya mo bang ipakita kung sino ka talaga? O kaya, for example, ano bang personality meron ka? Baka maboka, di ba? So, baka pag nandun ka na sa isang agency, hindi ka na rin ganun. Hindi ka na maboka kasi nga, you have that different kind of environment. So, parang ganun yung illustration niya. Next, social change. What is and what changes? It may involve change in social order, even in social institutions, including behavior of the people and relationships. In that case, everything is subject to change. And this is how sociology were able to describe how the society changed over time. So, pag sinabi mo namang human ecology, ito naman yung interaction ng mga tao with their environment. From the word itself, ecology. So, we are talking about their environment, the nature and the behavior of a given population. Yung bang mga values and what else? Behaviors na meron ng isang community can affect the behavior of a given population? It can. So, di ba for example, kung dati kinakatakutan ang isang municipality, mayroon ba kayong mga alam na kinakatakot ang municipality? Bakit sila kinakatakutan? For example, Municipality X, kinakatakutan siya kasi dahil sa madaming patayan, o kaya madaming nangyayaring krimen. Ayaw mong pumunta doon kasi nga maraming ang nababalita ang hindi maganda. So, just for example, so kung dati kinakatakutan ng isang municipality, parang sa Municipality X, dahil sa mga incidents, ganyan, does it affect the behavior of the other municipalities? Yung kalapit na municipality niya, pwede ba siyang maapektuhan? Pwede or not? Pwede. Bakit? Siyempre, kahit government naapektuhan sa kung anong nangyayari sa kasama niyang bansa, di ba? So, yung interaction between these two municipalities is affected by the behavior na meron ang isa. That's human ecology. Okay? So, next, population and demographics. So, sociology covers number of population, statistics like census, kung may pumupunta sa inyo, mga galing sa PSA, diba? That's sociology. Sakop niya mga statistics, anong profile mo, anong profile ng family mo, sociology pa rin yan. Okay? So, pag pinag-usapan natin ang demographics, sa pag third year na kayo, magkakaroon kayo ng research, maybe you will conduct such demographics or you will gather data on demographics of a particular community. Titignan nyo kung ano yung profile nila, ilan sila, ano yung mga composition, and ano yung mga pagbabago. Diba? So, next, sociological theory and research. Ayan. So, we are talking about here theories and principles. Of course, in sociology, there are certain theories and principles which became the foundation in the study of sociology. Later on, we will provide discussions with this kind of aspect. Applied sociology. Ayan. So, applied sociology is used in research to produce social change in communities. Ginagamitan siya ng iba't ibang methods, theories, skills, and of course, research which could address certain issues in a community, or in that case, siyempre, ang sabi kasi dito is solving social problems. Pag sinabi mo kasing applied sociology, there is such problems that you want to solve or give some mitigations about it, di ba? So, in that case, solutions or interventions can be developed for the issues identified. So, meron ng dahil sa applied sociology, meron tayong mga iba't ibang proyekto galing sa gobyerno na naibibigay through locally sa ating mga barangay, sa ating mga municipalities. Ginagamit ang sociology to address that social concerns. For example, mga inequalities, bakit mas madaming SAP ang mga mayayaman? So parang ganun. For example lang bakit mas madami ang nakukuha ng may mga trabaho naman, di ba? So, mga concerns yan ng mangilan-ngilan. So, inequalities, racism, poverty, parang ganun. So, in a specific group of people. So, that was the scope of sociology. Next, importance of sociology. So, sa importance of sociology, we have 13. Okay? Una, sociology use scientific ways. So, meaning, there is a process. There is a procedure. Hindi basta-basta mag-aaral ka ng society o pag-aaralan mo kung ano yung meron sa isang community without using scientific methods, scientific procedures. Pangalawa, it gives a better understanding on social nature of men. How does people behave? So, maiintindihan mo yan. Okay? With the use of sociology. Pag pinag-aralan yan. Okay? So, increases the power of social actions. So, ibig sabihin, it enables people to take an action or to solve a certain issues. Pang-apat, studies the role of institutions. How does the institutions interact or became an asset of the society. Ano-ano ba yung mga institutions na pinag-uusapan natin? Later on sa mga other module natin, next module natin, we will discuss institutions like schools, government agencies, private sector, family, what else? And others, okay? So, panglima, indispensable for understanding and planning of society. Pag sinabi mong indispensable, it means essential or necessary. Kailangan. So, kailangan saan? For understanding the society. So, kailangan daw natin ng sociology to understand and plan for our society. So, pang-anim, solution to social problems. So, ano bang mga social problems meron ang ating bansa? So, I think you are familiar with this kind of social problems. Kung titignan mo yung Sustainable Development Goals of the Philippines, you can identify different kind of social problems. So, para ma-solve natin itong mga problems na ito, you need to study sociology. Ano bang meron doon? Ano bang meron sa society? Ano bang meron sa government? Ano bang meron sa community? So, lahat pinag-aaralan yan. Dahil doon, nagka-come up tayo ng iba't ibang solutions. Pang-pito, it gives attention to intrinsic worth and dignity of men. Pinag-usapan naman dito is yung integrity, where sociology studies the actual importance of humanity in the society. Pang-walo, change of crime perspectives, enrich human culture, solution to international problems. So, kahit international problems, pwede nating isolve. Through what? Through sociology. Okay? It updates on modern situations. What else? Promote tribal welfare and marginalized communities. So, pag sinabi mo kasing tribal welfare, meaning we have here, pag sinabi mong tribal kasi, di ba, mga tribes, the benefit of tribes, mga tribo like yung mga tao, mga tribo sa Ifugao, ba, sa Benguet. What else? Pag sinabi mo ng mga marginalized communities, those are group of people who have experienced discrimination and exclusion from the society. So, discrimination and exclusion, mga sineseparate. Bakit sineseparate? Kasi nga, merong deviant behaviors, so, hindi siya normal, o kaya hindi naman sa hindi normal, hindi siya, parang kakaiba lang siya sa community, sa isang society. So, for example, sino ba yung mga nakaka-experience ng discrimination at saka exclusion? LGBT, di ba? What else? Mga senior citizens. What else? PWDs, di ba? Even nga yung may mga COVID ngayon, di ba? Is ina-isolate nila. Hindi naman discrimination yun, pero they are excluded from the society. So, pag gumaling na sila, hindi, alam mo yung iba na yung trato nila, iba yung trato sa kanila pag umuwi sila. Maraming issues na ganyan. Which is part of sociology. Okay? So, para daw magkaroon ng welfare, magandang pamumuhay ang mga marginalized communities including tribal groups. Last is useful as teaching subject. So, bago tayo pumunta sa lesson 2, lesson 1 pa lang yun eh. Okay, before we proceed to our next lesson, for your participation, kindly answer this question and comment down your responses in the comment section. Based from the importance we have discussed, importance of sociology, ano ba sa tingin mo ang importansya ng sociology, bakit natin siya pinag-aaralan, in public administration. Why do we need to study sociology in public administration? So comment down your answers below and let me check it or let me view it later on kapag natapos nyo na to. Okay, so let's go to lesson 2. Lesson 2, we will relate sociology and other social sciences. So let's go. First one, political science. So kung titignan mo, political science is part of sociology. Part daw siya ng sociology. So mas malawak ito kaysa ito. Merong specific na study. Ito, ang part niya is yung political science. So to understand changes in society, political science is needed. Remember that political science is the study of politics and power under the theory and the practice of government. So for example, bakit nga ba bawal ang lumabas ngayong pandemic? Of course, dahil yan sa existence ng isang policy which created by the government itself. Thus, it affects the society. So, to understand more what is happening in the society, you need to understand the changes in what? Politics. Okay? Both are interdependent. So, they are interdependent in a way that sociology will benefit from political science, and also political science can benefit from sociology. So, without sociological background, political science is incomplete. Anong ibig sabihin nito? Kung walang pag-aaral tungkol sa behavior ng mga tao in terms of mobility in the country, do you think magkocontrol ng government ang movement of people? So, do you think kaya nilang i-control na lumabas ang mga tao? Magbigay ng polisiya, we have this IATF memorandum, blah, blah, blah. So, do you think pwede silang magbigay nun without understanding what is in the society? So, ganun ang interrelationship nila. So, of course, the answer is no. That's why political science is complete when the study of society is there. So, there are some differences na pinag-usapan natin na na-discuss na rin natin. So, sociology is different from political science when it comes to scope. Mas malawak ang sociology, mas limited ang political science. Ang sociology studies man as social animal. Kung natapos nyo na yung mga other yung politics and administration ninyo, malalaman nyo or mare-remember ninyo na ang man, trinitreat ng political science as a political animal. Diba? Magkaiba sila. Sociology studies social activities. Sa political science naman, political activities. Sa sociology, it focuses on society and social relationship. Samantalang ang political science, state and government. Wherein, kung titignan mo, ang state and government is part of society. Diba? So, ganun. Kalawak ang sociology. Next, history. So, pagdating sa history, history is a record of past social matters, social customs, and information about different stages of life. So, and sociology is are using this kind of information to know the impact of a particular event. So, basahin natin dito. Both sociology and history studies human society. However, sociology looks on present history, and sa history, past sociology naman ang tinitignan. So, sa history, in other words, in simple terms, sa history, it talks about the past. Ang sociology talks about or looks on what? Looks on the present. Okay? So, titignan mo dito, present and past society. Again, it's sociology. Sabi sa sociology, it is a general science. Special science naman ang history. So, yung scope nito, mas malawak ulit. And then, ang history is more on specific or special science. So, nagkakatalo sila sa scope. Sociology includes history within its scope. Sabi niya, so kasama ang history sa sakop ng sociology. Sociology is abstract, history is concrete and nature. So, in other words, again, ano ba ang relationship ng dalawa? Ano ba ang meron sila? Diba? Yung difference na pag-usapan natin kanina, napag-usapan na natin. So, ano ba ang relationship ng dalawa? History and sociology. Magjowa ba sila? Magjowa. Remember that sociology studies society, right? And sa history, it also studies society. In order to understand more the present society, meron tayong kailangang pag-aralan naman kung ano yung nangyari noon. Okay? So, what is the context? Kailangan malaman ng sociologist kung ano ba yung context or yung background, anong nangyari ngayon at noon. Bakit merong ganitong situation ngayon? For example, in social issues like what? Corruption, for example. How will you describe corruption in this time? So, bakit may corruption sa ngayon? Hindi ba sila natatakot? Ngayon, para maintindihan ninyo at may address ang corruption, there is a need to what? Investigate the past administrations. Saan ba nagsimula yan? Bakit naging norm yan? Bakit naging kaugalian na yan in which madali na lang ang maging corrupt? Tama ba? Parang wala na silang kinakatakutan. If you will observe, people are not afraid to steal. People are not afraid to what? Commit crimes. Why is it that this acts is already a norm in the society? Can history understand that? Yes, of course. Kumbaga, paano kung masasabi na ikaw ay, for example, sinungaling? Or kung bakit ka naging sinungaling? Bakit ka nagsisinungaling ngayon? O kaya, bakit ka naging honest? Wow, ang bait naman ng batang to. Bakit? Oh, ang talino naman ng taong to. Bakit ka madiskarte? Oh, wow, ang diskarte mo naman. Dami mong business, dami mong pinagkakabalan. Ang dami mong source of income. Bakit kaya? So, malalaman mo yan kapag pinag-aralan mo yung context ng isang situation or yung isang community or yung isang tao mismo. Ba? So, what is available in your environment? So, bakit hindi ka ganun kagaling or bakit ang tataas ng grades mo? Bakit ganun ka na lang katalino? So, do we need to look on the past or do we need to look on the present? What could be the available situations in your environment today? Pwede nang tignan natin ang pinagmulan, di ba? Ano bang meron sa bahay nyo? Ano bang meron sa family mo? Na pwede mong i-adapt or pwede mong matutunan sa ngayon na siyang nagiging dahilan ng behavior mo today. That's how sociology and history interrelates with each other. So in simple terms, we have used sociology and history in both situations. Okay? Next, economics. Sociology is the study of human interactions and interrelations, their conditions and consequences. While in economics, deals with what? Economic activities, production, consumption, distribution, and exchange. Kung meron ako yung subject na economics, of course, pinag-aralan nyo ang production, consumption, distribution, and exchange. I know na pinag-aralan nyo din yung supply and demand. Diba? Law of supply and demand. So, sociology covers all concepts and activities in man, including economic activities. So, lahat daw ng activities within production, consumption, distribution, and exchange are being studied also in the sociology. Okay, so malawak talaga ang sociology in simple terms, di ba? So, ano ba yung mga differences when it comes to sociology? Sociology, again, is a general science. Ang economics is special science. Ang economics is all about economic life and of human beings, whereas sociology studies society as a whole. As a whole, okay? With the inclusion of life, economic life of man. Inclusion, ibig sabihin, na idagdag. So, with the inclusion of the economic life of man. Take note that in economics, it just studied the activities which are solely and purely economic. When we say activities kasi, tumutukoy dito yung mga methods and techniques na meron sa production na pinag-usapan natin kanina, dissemination and consumption. In contrast, the sociologist is concerned with dealing with economic methods naman and techniques which are seen through the social aspect and perspective. Meaning, ang sociology, tinitignan din niya yung mga paraan kung paano lumalago ang society sa pamamagitan ng economics. The growth of society is explained by both economics and sociology. Para maintindihan ninyo, kung ang economics, tinitignan niya kung gaano kalaki ang production ng asukal. For example, gaano kadami ang demand and papaano ito na i-distribute sa mga consumers. Ang sociology, tinitignan din niya lahat yan. So, lahat ng sinabi ko kanina, tinitignan niya. Kasama na ang behavior ng mga kumpanya. So, nai-include na naman. Behavior ng kumpanya sa pag-produce, dinidescribe niya kung bakit malaki ang demand and bakit malaki ang supply. So, it looks on the same area of activity but they differ on the scope of study. That's why sociology is concerned to the study of society as a whole na sinabi kanina. Diba? So, whereas economics is part of it. Part lang ng economics, ng sociology ang economics. Next. Psychology naman tayo. So, umabot na tayo ng almost 1 hour. 1.5 hour. Ay, lagpas na pala. Tapusin na natin tong lesson 1 and 2 and then sa lesson 1 and 4, lesson 3 and 4, part 2 na lang siya. Okay? So, sociology and psychology. Anata akong boses Sociology is the scientific study of society. Ayan. Psychology naman is the scientific of mind and behavior. So, ang pinagkakaiba nila, society, ito naman, behavior. Both fields require certain level of understanding. So, kailangan ng comprehension about what motivates people to act certain way or factors that cause them to develop specific behaviors or patterns. Sa differences naman, sa sociology, understanding the society as a group. So, tinitingnan niya ang society as a group, as a whole. So, ang psychology as an individual. So, isa-isa. Sociology analyze behavior from sociological angle. Ang psychology naman, psychological angle. Question. How does psychology related to sociology again? Take note that sociology looks on the interactions within the society. And these interactions can be seen within a group of people. Now, take a look on this. The sociologist is the person studying sociology or studying the society. Psychologist is the person studying the mind and behavior of a person. Diba? So, balik tayo. The sociologist will look on the behavior of a group of people. So, how does psychology use in sociology? The psychologist here focuses on the behavior of each person or individual within that group. So, kung 5 kayo, ang tinitignan ng sociology is yung 5 as a group. Yung behavior niya as a group. Ang psychology, tinitignan isa-isa. Ayan, paano niya gagamitin? Paano siya gagamitin ng sociology? Ang psychology. Gulan ba kayo? Okay? Ang sociologist, pwede niyang i-determine yung norm or yung behavior na meron ng isang barkada or yung barkada mo mismo o mga kaibigan mo as a group in order to describe in detail the activities or behavior of that group. Okay? The sociologist needs the ideas and perspective of the psychologist para mas maintindihan kung ano ba talaga yung behavior ng isang grupo. So, kung titignan mo lang kasi as a group, parang konti lang. Hindi siya masyadong detailed na i-discuss or i-describe kung ang focus lang is as a whole. So, ano ba yung iba't ibang concerns within a person, di ba? For example, ang government, kung ikaw ay isang public administrator, how will you look on your scope, yung coverage ng administration mo? For example, governor ka. Ang coverage mo is yung province, di ba? So, titignan mo ba siya as a group or you will look on the situations within a person or yung mismong parang hati-hati. For example, province, di ba? Titignan mo ba siya sa province na nag-estimate ka na ang probinsya kailangan natin ng ganitong programa. Pero yung isang municipality pala, ang mas need niya is ibang programa, di ba? So, dapat interrelated pa rin sa bawat isa ang sociology and psychology. So, kung titignan mo, is importante ang bawat behavior ng isang grupo, ang isang individual, and it will help to understand what is the situation within a group as a group. So, parang ganon ang sociology and psychology na they need each other. However, sociology can stand alone. Okay? So, kailangan lang niya ang psychology when it comes to more understanding, more detailed description of what is this behavior of the society. Understand? Another example is when there is a rally, diba? The sociologist will study the context or background of the organization in that particular rally. Diba pag may mga rally, commonly may mga organized group na sila. May mga organizations na sila na nabuo to fight for their purpose or objectives. Now, as I said, the sociologist looks on the organization itself. Ano ba ang pinaglalaban ng organization na ito? Bakit sila nagrarally? Diba? So, kung titignan ng sociologist, yung mga placard nila, ito pala yung pinaglalaban nila. Okay? Now, ang psychologist naman will look on the context or background of each person or member of that organization in order to understand more how does the organization establish or what is behind or what could be the possible reasons behind this rally aside from the objectives of the whole organization. So, magkaiba ang focus nila pero they are related in terms of goals, which is to identify the factors that cause an individual or group to develop a specific behavior. Alright? Next. Last one. Anthropology and sociology. So, sa sociology, alam nyo na yan. Sa anthropology, it studies humanity also. Okay? So, pag sinabi mong humanity, it includes origins, species, genetics. Sociology and anthropology involve the systematic study of social life and culture in order to understand the causes and consequences of human actions. So take note, both sociology and anthropology study human society. So pinag-aralan nila pareho ang human society. And they are concerned with all kinds of social groups. In other words, pareho sila ng pinag-aaralan. Pero magkaiba sila ng scope. Ha? They are related to each other in a way that anthropology contributes to the study of sociology. Kasi ang anthropology more on cultures ang pinag-aaralan. Okay? So, ang culture is just part of the civilization. Diba? Or the society itself. So, ang scope talaga ng sociology ay malawak. Kaya nga, tinawag siyang what? Mother of all social sciences. So, ganun ang relationship and difference of sociology and anthropology. So, that's it for our lesson 1 and 2. Let's conclude it. Wala pa pala tayong isang oras. Akala ko isang oras na tayo. Ituloy na lang natin. Okay? So, lesson 3 and 4. Usapan na natin ang lesson 3 and 4. Okay, so lesson 3, we will be discussing about historical and social context of sociology. So we have here brief history. Sociology started in ancient times. Sinimulan niya nila Plato, Aristotle, and Confucius. Okay? So in 13th century, nandito naman ng isang Chinese historian na si Ma Tuanling, di ba? Chinese na rin tayo. Hirap mag-pronounce ang mga pangalan nila. So, recognized as social dynamics in his encyclopedia. So, yung mga terms in sociology ginagamit na in 13th century. Ayan. So, in 14th century naman, si Ibn Khaldun. Okay. Tama ba? So, iba na. Meron ng other terms. Ibn Khaldun was recognized as the world first sociologist. So, tinago rin siyang world first sociologist in modern sociology and economics. Na pinag-usapan din niya ang social conflicts. In 18th century naman, meron tayong mga thinkers dito of enlightenment. Si Locke, Voltaire, Kant, and Hobbes. So, mga pinag-usapan nila, social ills or social reform. So, based from social ills, nagkaroon ng social reforms. Ang social ills kasi, it pertains to what? The social issues or the problems in the society. Dahil nagkaroon ng study about social ills, here comes social reform. So, may mga pagbabago na. Pagdating sa mga polisiya, and mga programa. What else? Mary Wollstonecraft is the first feminist thinker of consequence. Anong consequence? Yan yung term niya. So, yun yung ginamit niya sa sociology. Okay? So, thinkers provide general explanations of social world. They provide principles in social life. Ang principles in social life, like what? Humanity, dignity, solidarity, what else? Ethics, and etc. So, sila yung mga nag-come up ng mga iba't ibang paniniwala, mga prinsipyo sa buhay. Diba? Because of studying sociology. So, in 19th century, rise of empires that expose people to societies and cultures have been established. Okay, so meron ng mga imperyo sa noong 19th century. People move into cities. People turn away from their traditional religious belief. So, umalis na rin sila sa iba't ibang mga paniniwala nila because of some empires that are exposed to people, societies, and culture. So itong mga empires na to, they somewhat go into battle to conquer different kind of sectors. So in that case, people move into cities, people turn away from their traditional religious belief. Okay, so parang noon, di ba? Nung pumasok ang Kristyanismo, nung pumasok ang ibang mga dayuhan, yung mga traditional religious belief natin is napalitan. Di ba? Naging, kung dati, tribo, mga iba't ibang paniniwala, nagkaroon ng mga Kristiyano. So, ganun po ang brief history ng sociology. So, let's talk about sociology as a discipline. As a discipline, meaning, isa na siyang field of study or field of science since it is a social science. So, the term sociology was created by Auguste Comte. So, tinagurian siyang father of sociology. Take note na itong mga dinidiscuss natin is a summary na, di ba? So, na-integrate na yung mga nandyan sa mga modules ninyo in order for you to better understand what is the history of sociology. So, si Auguste Comte, inintroduce niya rin ang concept of positivism. Ayan, positivism. Positivism is a concept which is used to understand the social world based on social facts. So, para maintindihan mo ang mundo, ang society, kailangan mo ng social facts. So, ginamit ang positivism para i-describe ang society, even the social world. Sabi ni Comte, sa pamamagitan ng panibagong understanding na ito, people could build a better future. Pero, question, paano? Sabi niya, he envisioned a process of social change in which pinag-usapan ang roles ng mga sociologists in guiding the nation, in guiding the society. So, during the 18th and 19th century, political revolutions led to social change and social order became the concern of sociologists. And in 19th and 20th century, classical theories Marx and Durkheim, including Weber and Du Bois. Okay, ano ba yan? Du Bois, Martineau, and address social concerns and bring social change. Social concerns like social class inequality, gender inequality, and racism. Dali, inom lang ako na wala na akong boses. Okay. Yan. So, dali lang ah. Time out. Wala na akong boses. Alright. So, let's go to modern sociology. In modern sociology, we have here a growth of sociology in US, growth of sociology in Germany and France. In US, universities were established kung saan in-introduce na ang sociology sa schools. So, meron ng subject or mga studies when it comes to sociology sa iba't ibang universities. So, and also, nagkaroon na rin ng Department of Sociology. Hindi na lang sa universities tinuturo ang sociology, pati na rin sa high schools. Okay? So, 1911. In Germany and France, masaklap naman ang naging kapalaran ng ibang mga sociologists dito. They were killed during the World War II, World War I and II. However, yung iba sa kanila is nakalakas. Yung iba sa kanila nag-aral sa Amerika and bumalik sa Germany. Nung tapos na ang digmaan, bumalik na sila sa Germany. Ang resulta, dahil sa maraming nag-aaral sa Amerika, the American sociologists became the world leaders in theory and research within the context of sociology. Okay? So, we also have organizations or associations that are established in 1905. We have the ASA and the ISA. Diba? ASA, American Sociological Association, and the International Sociological Association. Because of these organizations, sociology became popular in the world of discipline. Hanggang sa dumami na ng dumami ang mga nag-aaral ng sociology and sumasali sa mga formal organizations that helps the nation to become more productive with the help of the government and the sociologists. So, titignan mo dito, 3,300 members sila in 2004 and from different 91 countries. 91 different countries. Okay? So, dati, parang dito, 115 lang sila hanggang sa 14,000 na rin sila. Diba? Padami ng padami. So, that ends our lesson 3. Let's go to lesson 4. We have here foundations of sociological thought and the theoretical perspective. Foundations of sociological thought simply discuss the framework behind sociology. We have here different sociologists, thinkers, and experts in sociology. So, meron tayong si August Comte and Harriet Martin New. Pag-usapan natin yan. So, August Comte is also known as the father of sociology. Siya rin ang mayakda at konsepto or filosofiya ng positivism kung saan sa pamamagitan daw ng mga siyentipikong pamamaraan para mahayag ang mga social laws or mga batas within society. Di ba, we are bounded by laws in society. Limited ang galaw natin because of these laws in which people interact ay magbibigay ng daan sa panibagong variant laws. So sabi ni Com, limited ang galaw natin because of these laws in which people interact, which magbibigay ng daan sa panibagong invariant laws. Invariant laws, ang pinag-usapan naman dito is about unchanging laws. Ito yung mga constant laws. So, hindi yung batas noon, batas pa rin ngayon. Parang gano'n. Ang lamo. Okay, patalastas. Ang positivism kasi is the search for invariant laws or constant laws. Ang positivism is since it is the search for invariant laws of the natural and social world, Comte identified 3 basic methods for discovering these invariant laws. Andiyan yan. So, ano yung tatlong stages? Theological, metaphysical, and positivism. Mo, kailangan natin ng tubig ulit. Sana akong boses. Bihira. And, these 3 stages are the theological, metaphysical, and positivist. Yan. So, let's go to Harriet Martin New. Harriet Martin New is, yung contribution niya is about illustrations of political economy, society in America, and the retrospect of Western travel. She is also a social reformer and the first woman sociologist. Diba? So, tatlo sa kanyang mga kontribusyon, binanggit natin is illustrations of political economy, society in America, and retrospect of Western travel. Yan yung mga sinulat niya comparing international social institutions. Pinag-usapan niyo dyan ang free enterprise, what else? System of capitalism, moral principles, and principles of economics. Next, Karl Marx and Herbert Spencer. Si Karl Marx naman is a German philosopher. So, he co-authored the most influential book, Communist Manifesto. So, ito yung most influential book of the history entitled Communist Manifesto. Kasama niya dyan si Friedrich Engels and siya rin ang sumulat or sumalungat sa konsepto ni August Comte ng positivism. So, kontra siya sa concept ni August Comte. Sabi niya, ang society daw ang nagbabago at nadidevelop dahil sa iba't ibang mga struggles or social conflicts. So, ang struggles na pinag-uusapan natin is about the conflicts or disagreements within the society. So, sabi niya, ang society ang nagbabago at nagde-develop dahil sa iba't ibang struggles na ito between different social classes. So, yung mga social classes, yung may mayaman, may mahirap, may middle class, diba? So, pinag-usapan din niya yung about sa capitalism and communism. At naniniwala siya na ang communism is more equitable system kaysa capitalism. So, kaya ang title niya is Communist Manifesto, di ba? So, naniniwala siya about communism na mas equitable ang system na ito kaysa sa capitalism. Di ba sa capitalism kasi, okay ba kasi almost system ang communism sa capitalism, pero they have this kind of difference. Sa capitalism kasi is characterized by private ownership and corporate ownership. So, ang mode of economics or mga production, consumption sa capitalism, pagmamay-ari ng mga pribadong mga tao o kaya mga kumpanya, di ba? Kaya ang means of distribution is based from private or corporate people. And sa communism naman is kabaliktaran ng capitalism. It is not characterized by a private or corporate ownership of goods. In other sense, it is owned communally or collectively, and it is distributed as needed. Okay? So, ganun ang paniniwala ni Karl Marx. Kay Herbert Spencer naman, we have, he is an English philosopher who rejected the philosophy of again. So, again sila kay kay August Comte. Pati na rin yung theory ni Karl Marx, against din siya about sa class struggle and his favor on communism. Ang pinaglalaban naman ni Spencer ay yung klase ng gobyerno kung saan government will allow market forces to control capitalism. In other words, yung market forces na yun tumutukoy yun sa demand and supply ng economy. Either there will be some sort of shortage or surplus. Sabi ni Spencer, the government should allow market forces to control capitalism. Okay. Next, George Simmel. George Simmel. Okay. He is a German art critic and also a writer of social political issues. Salungat din siya sa philosophy ni Comte about positivism. Dami nilang kasalungat kay Comte, no? Dahil doon, ang in-address naman niya ang concerned topics about social conflicts and function of money. Si Emil Durkheim naman, in-introduce niya ang sociology as a formal discipline and published his works like the Rules of Sociological Method and Division of Labor in the Society. Ayan. So, naniniwala din si Durkheim na ang social facts or mga actual evidences or practicals na meron ang society can determine if the society is a healthy society or a pathological. So, dalawa yung category na sinasabi ni Durkheim. Either healthy society or pathological. Pag sinabi mong healthy ang society, yung economy is stable. Okay? At kapag pathological naman, there is a breakdown of social norms between individuals and society. Meaning, some practices and traditions, doctrines in the society is disregarded, or change, or nagbabago-bago. Diba? Either pababa siya, o kaya nababago na talaga siya. So, pathological yun, hindi siya stable. Ang society, pinag-usapan, yung economy. According to Durkheim. Okay? So, next, George Herbert Mead. Usapan naman natin ang contribution nila. Kasama ni Max Weber. Si George Herbert Mead is a philosopher focused on mind and self-development through what? Social processes. Naniniwala siya na ang individual's view to itself is based on interaction with others. So, pinag-usapan dito yung behavior ng isang tao ay base daw sa interaction niya sa ibang mga tao. So, kung ano daw yung personality mo or yung paniniwala mo sa sarili mo is base sa kung ano yung nakita mo sa ibang mga tao. Sa interactions mo sa ibang mga tao. Kung sabi niya, yung mga kaibigan mo, sabi nila, ay, mag-aral tayong mabuti kasi balang araw magagamit natin yung pinag-aral natin. So, kung yun yung paniniwala nila, pwede mong ma-adapt yun. Yun yung maging view mo din sa sarili mo. Oh, sige, yun din. So, parang sa isang church organization, sa isang simbahan, ito yung paniniwala nila, ito yung doctrine nila. So, because of that interactions with you and the members of the church, your views are being changed, diba? So, naniniwala si Herbert Mead na nababago ang paniniwala ng isang tao base sa interactions niya sa iba't ibang grupo or sa isang grupo ng mga tao, ng community, mga ganyan. Okay. So, kay Max Weber naman tayo. Si Max Weber naman published the book Protestant Ethic and Spirit of Capitalism. He introduced the concept of Verstehen, or what we call to understand in a deep way. Okay? So, proposed the philosophy of anti-positivism. So, against na naman yan. Representing social processes, cultural norms, and societal values. He also published the book The Nature of Social Action. It interprets the meaning and social action and explain the results of these actions. So, kung ano daw yung pinakita mo, and ini-explain din niya kung ano yung resulta ng pinakita mo. So, ano yung mga consequences, in other words, diba? So, yun ang mga thinkers, sociologists natin when it comes to sociological thought. Sila yung mga basis, mga pinanggalingan ng iba't ibang mga theories and principles in sociology. Mali. In sociology. Mali. Ayun. Sila yung mga pinanggalingan ng mga theories, principles in sociology. Hindi ko pala ito nailagay. Sana narinig. Okay? So, let's go to sociological and theoretical perspectives naman. So, we have structural functionalism. Sa structural functionalism, ang major contributors in here is Herbert Spencer and Robert Merton. So, sinasabi nito na ang society ay isang structure with what? Interrelated parts designed to meet the biological and social needs of the individuals in that society. Sabi ni Spencer, these parts, yung tinutukoy dito, interrelated parts, is referred to social institutions. So, like government, education, family, healthcare, religion, and the economy. So, it is also the framework that sees society as a complex system kung saan yung mga parts na yon or yung mga institutions na yon or the social institutions shall work together to promote solidarity. Ano ba yung solidarity? It's about unity, diba? And what? Stability. Next, conflict theory. Anong pinaglalaban ng conflict theory? We have here the contributor, Karl Marx. Sabi ng conflict theory, society daw is competition for limited resources. Tinitingnan niya ang society as a competition for limited resources. Bakit limited resources? Kasi nga kulang sa supply, kulang sa mga iba't ibang needs sa society, diba? It views society as an arena of inequality. Dahil doon, ang tinitignan ni Karl Marx, tinitignan niya ang society is an arena or parang sentro ng social inequality. Diba? That generates what? Conflict and social change. So, social inequality, for example, is inequality in race, sex, class, what else? Age, and kung saan it creates social conflict. Ang social conflict kasi is about disagreements or contradictions within a particular community or society or nation. So, meron din dito is yung critical theory na tinatawag. Ito naman yung expansion of conflict theory. So, mas pinalawak niya ang conflict theory, yung discussion ng conflict theory. Gusto niyang i-attempt na i-address ang mga structural issues causing inequalities. So, meron din tayo dito yung feminist theory, which attempts to explain forces that maintain gender inequality and how this conflict can be changed. So, tinutukoy naman dito kung ano yung mga rason, ano yung mga factors na hindi mabago-bago ang or hindi mapapalitan ang inequality when it comes to gender. Diba? Kaya nga tayo merong gender sensitivism ngayong panahon na ito kasi nga because of this kind of inequality. So, kaya meron tayong mga batas pagdating sa proteksyon ng iba't ibang gender. So, ayun ang feminist theory. Another thing is that ang feminist theory, di ba, focuses on gender inequality. Tinitignan niya kung paano or ano yung mga factors or dahilan ng pagkakaroon ng gender inequality. As well as anong solution. So, anong solution? How this conflict can be changed. Ano yung mga solution para mabawasan or matanggal ang mga gender inequality sa ating community, sa ating bansa. Okay. Last one. We have symbolic interactionism. So, sa symbolic interactionism, it focuses on what? Relationships among individuals within the society. Ang founder naman dito is si Herbert Mead, George Herbert Mead. Okay, so sabi niya, it emphasized the exchange of language and symbols among individuals within the society through what? Communication. Sabi niya, it focuses on how individuals and groups interact within the society through the use of signs and symbols as a method of communication to direct a message within the society. Signs and symbols, hindi ibig sabihin mga sign language. Hindi lang ibig sabihin mga sign language ng mga hindi makapagsalita. Sign in a way that people can communicate their advocacies through the use of signage, through the use of like mga tarpaulins, mga billboards, what else? Mga placards, and etc. So, hindi lang siya parang sign language ng mga hindi makapagsalita. Parang sa mga protest activities, di ba? They are not just using their voice to address their concerns, but also they use different methods like signs and symbols of inequality. So, inequality is signs of symbols of peace, diba? And unity of people within the society. So, meron din tayong tinatawag na dramaturgical analysis and constructivism. Sa dramaturgical analysis, it pertains to the utilization of theater. So, paggamit ng isang theater para ma-describe ang social interaction and ma-recognize ang mga people interaction based on cultural scripts which became a norm. So, sabi niya dito, di ba meron sa theater kasi, merong presentation of how society is. So, may mga interaction, dula-dulaan, parang ganyan. So, interpretative dance. And these presentations are based on scripts given by the producers. Now, in these scripts, represents the culture of the society. So, yung mga ini-interact nila doon represents the culture of the society. And people interact with one another based on these practices and cultures, which later on became norms, di ba? Kaugalian na. So, parang kaugalian na yung mga pinapakita sa theater, most commonly, yun yung mga nakikita or observations ng mga producers when it comes to the situations within the society. And they use theater to analyze social interactions. That's how dramaturgical analysis. Kaya mayroong term yun, drama. Di ba? Basic na maintindihan natin. Okay, constructivism. Ano naman ito? It states that reality is not what we observe, but it is an object constructed by science, norms, and rules. So, meaning, we develop social constructs based on interaction with others. Ang social construct na sinasabi natin are those ideas that have been created and accepted by the people in the society. For example, deviant behaviors. Ano ba ang deviant behavior, di ba? Kapag nakakita ka ng wallet sa dinadaanan mo, ano sa tingin mo ang gagawin mo? Tatago mo ba or sasauli mo? Ano sa tingin mo? In the United States, in US, ang pagsoli ng wallet in local authorities sa mga police, for example, o sa mga tanod, o kaya sa mga lahat ng local authorities, would be considered the appropriate action. Diba? Yun yung tama, yun yung gagawin natin. And to keep the wallet would be seen as deviant behavior. So, hindi tama. Yung mga tinitingnan natin na yung mga behavior or mga actions ng mga tao na hindi angkop sa batas or hindi angkop sa paniniwala or hindi angkop sa acceptance ng society. Okay, these are deviant behaviors. So, ang social construct na meron ka or yung idea na meron ka at katanggap-tanggap sa lahat ay yung ibalik or isauli yung wallet sa authorities. So, kung meron ka nun, yun yung social construct. Okay? In contrast, sa Eastern societies, they would consider it much more appropriate to keep the wallet. Sa mga Eastern societies, Sabi nila, it is better to keep the wallet and search for the owner yourself. Ikaw yung maghanap. Turning it over to someone else, even the authorities, would be considered deviant behavior. So, ang idea na mas makakabuti kung ikaw ay maghahanap sa may-ari, ang idea is mas nakakabuti daw kung ikaw yung maghahanap sa may-ari kesa ibigay sa authorities. So, yung idea na yon is an example of social constructivism. Bakit? Because of norms, rules, and other practices na ginagawa na sa society, which is accepted na siya. So, that is social constructivism. Okay? Ang reality is not what we observe, but what is accepted by science and what is accepted by rules. So, yun yung konsepto ng constructivism. Kung ang deviance behavior, yung mga bagay na salungat sa acceptance ng tao, ng society, itong mga deviant behavior na to, kapag accepted na siya, it became the reality. It is what the society is. So, ito na ang society ngayon. Kung noon, hindi tanggap ang mga LGBT, ngayon, because of norms, because of rules, meron ng mga batas para sa proteksyon nila. Diba? So, because of science, tanggap na ngayon. So, ito na yung realidad ngayon. Kung noon, pwede kang, ang mindset is, yung nawalan ng wallet kanina, di ba? So, yung example natin. Kung noon is, pwede mong ibalik. Ang kailangan mong gawin is ibalik. Yun yung accepted noon. May mga other countries na accepted is huwag mong ibalik. Instead, ikaw yung maghanap. Kasi nga, sabi nila is kapag ibinalik mo, baka hindi na rin bumalik, 'di ba? Mas mabuti ikaw yung makasigurado. Oh, so parang accepted 'yun sa ibang mga bansa. Dito sa Pilipinas, ganun din ba? 'Di ba? Hindi more likely, 'di ba, kapag nakakita ka ng wallet diyan sa labas, kapag wala mga identifications ang ginagawa ng iba, is syempre mas gusto nilang itago 'yun kaysa ibalik sa authority. Bakit? Kasi nga hindi mo naman sigurado kung may babalik nga. So, sa society natin, more likely, because of norms, accepted na siya. So, yun yung reality ngayon sa atin. Ito na yung meron sa society natin. So, that is constructivism. Okay? Under the symbolic interactionism. Understand? Okay. We have done the lesson 1 to 4 for learning activity. Sinend ko na sa inyo. Ito nung bago pa lang tayo mag-conduct ng online lecture discussions. Online discussions. So, yun. Yan yung mga activities natin. I hope na you are almost done. And ang deadline of submission is February 26. And ito yung email na pagsasandan natin. Ang format, ayan. So, yung, ano ba? File name, sinend ko na rin sa GC natin, di ba? Yung may mga inquiries. Ayan. So, thank you so much for listening. And I hope you've learned a lot when it comes to sociology. And kung may mga questions kayo, you can raise it. You can ask in the comment box. Pero yung tinanong ko kanina, you should answer it, okay? So, lagay nyo lang sa comment section in order for me to evaluate and check on your personalities also. Okay, so, yun lang. And good luck!